In this video, we will talk about a current problem in the country of Mexico that has caused controversy due to the various factors that are at stake. The Maya train. Join us in this small account of information where we'll talk in detail about the topic. Let's go!
Problem introduction. Human, day by day, affects the environment. In addition to all the pollution, it takes space for it. As a result of civilization, man, as a result of its advantage in all the areas to develop and expand exponentially, this is reflected in the urban ecosystem that each time expand more, reducing the green areas, the ecosystems with the animals, plants, etc. The so-called Maya train on the Yucatan Peninsula is a project of Mexico's southern border, will cross biosphere reserves already threatened by industrial oil, palm plantations, forest fires, illegal logging, and illegal traffic of animal species and vegetables. Find out and design the petition. This idea was had by the Mexican President López Obrador. It is to build a Maya train that takes masses of tourists from Cancun and the Riviera Maya to the ruins of Palenque and other archaeological centers. The train would travel around 1,500 kilometers through 5 states of Mexico and cross Mexican sites in the Maya jungle. The estimated investment of the infrastructure of the train track will be 120 to 150 thousands of pesos, which will be obtained by investment schemes. The Maya project puts at risk two important biodiversity, such as calcum in Campeche and cyan in Quintana Roo, in the face of the predation of natural resources warned by Freddy Puer, researcher of Mayan culture in Yucatan. This train is the third ghost train, as no one is concerned about environmental impacts and social damage. The authorities are only interested in exchange tickets and not in Maya population, he said. The construction of the train will generate noise pollution, extraction of stone resources, foundation works, and new population centers for construction and subsequent tourist activities, with serious negative repercussions. For the indigenous population, it is at odds as most of these people live in these areas, and that will create a great deal of control.
State the problem. As we said previously, this problem will have a high environmental impact. This train threatens ecosystems that guarantee the refuge to jaguars, ocelots, tapirs, howler monkeys, spider monkeys, crocodiles, manatees, parrots, and macaws. These species need large quantities to move, feed, and reproduce. This train will make it difficult to divide their habitat into two parts. Also, the construction of the train might generate noise, pollution, extraction of stony resources, tourist activities, new centers of work that will have disadvantages for the environment.
According to the previous information, we established the next hypothesis. If this project is carried out, all the human actions that necessarily to its elaboration will have a very great damage in the ecosystems which it passes. We established that because the construction of the train will require to remove fauna of the ecosystems due to the paths in which the train will pass. All of us are a little bit conscious of all the chemical components that is necessarily to the construction, and most of them are bad for the environment. The construction of this train will be affect the terrestrial, underground, aquatic, and underwater ecosystems. Let me explain that. First, the terrestrial ecosystems will be affected, even just for the presence of that train, because it represents like a dividing the ecosystem and displays many animals. Then the underwater, underground, and aquatic ecosystems will be affected due to the characteristics of the soil of that area, because that area are highly creased and it allowed that the pollutants filtrate and to the surface water, such as cenotes. The solution that we recommend in the best of the cases is to cancel the construction of the Tren Maya. The main objective of that is to avoid any imbalance in the ecosystems caused by the Tren Maya. And finally, non-governmental organizations such as Greenpeace will also help.
By constituting an artificial division, the railroad could disrupt natural biological corridors of species that transit from Central America to the Yucatan Peninsula. In Calakmul, for example, the North-South wildlife movement is of vital importance. Specialists have declared that the project threatens the ecosystems and habitat of endemic species such as jaguars, pumas, tapirs, peccaries, mantles, saraguatos, spider monkey, king buzzard, and elegant eagle. Its effect on flora population, mostly mahogany and cedar, will put the ecological balance at risk. The National Alliance for the Conservation of the Jaguar warned that 2,000 jaguars in the Yucatan Peninsula live in the Calakmul Biosphere Reserve and are threatened by the Maya Train project.
The results of the construction of the Maya train will be catastrophic for the species that habit there. According to the National Alliance for the Conservation of the Jaguar, more than 2,000 jaguars in the Yucatan Peninsula have lived in the Calakmul Biosphere Reserve that are threatened by the Maya train project. The train threatens ecosystems that warrant refuge to more than 50 species like jaguars, ocelots, tapirs, howler monkeys, spider monkeys, crocodiles, manatees, parrots, and macawas. These species need large territories to move, feed, and reproduce, what will be more difficult if we divide their habitat into two parts. The wetlands, farmland of local communities, and more than 220 cenotes are also in danger. In the Calakmul Reserve, there is an archaeological zone that has been called UNESCO World Heritage Site and that is intended to be a tourist attraction. This area is currently poorly communicated and receives 40,000 tourists a year. When connected with the train, it is expected that of the almost 70 million tourists who arrive in Cancun, 3 million will visit Calakmul.
The biggest problem in the construction of the Tren Maya is the impact of the environment, said the project manager director of the National Tourist Promotion Fund, that is Rogelio Jimenez Pons. As I mentioned before, led us to the conclusion that El Tren Maya is the most ambitious infrastructure project for the development of southeastern Mexico due to its economic implication and tourist development of the region. However, although it promises to be a strategic prosperity project that requires a balance between the four legs of the development, that is economical, social, environmental, and cultural. As in these types of projects of this magnitude, obviously, figures are started highly conservative that later when making the accounts of greater delay turn be much higher, causing economical imbalance in the country. As we mentioned it in the solution, we need a responsible government and administration for the plan in general is necessary, not only focus on a statement that will trigger development in the southeast, when in fact it's only a transport option to communicate some points of tourist attraction with each other faster. That Really, if the construction of this project don't think nothing just happen. We must also take action on the matter and stop minimizing the notorious deterioration of the ecosystems that we affect by the train. Along this route, we have noted that the Grand Train Maya is a very ambiguous plan, though the lack of planning, of financing that has no solid basis, in general foolishness on the part of the people who are in the project. It's time to determine. It's a little and think that obvious that economic growth is important to the country, but it cannot be at cost of extracted growth of the natural resources to only generate more jobs and income, since it only deteriorates the environment.